Hello again. Welcome back to another episode of The Average Uninformed. Tonight we watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and boy, oh boy, was it a treat. Spoiler warning, we are going to be talking about this movie quite a bit, so if you haven't seen it, just a heads up. Enjoy. Oh, we're live. I don't know if you want to start your timer.
Hold on, I don't even have it open yet, Victor. You just hold your darn horses, because I'm going to say hello to you in a second, and you're not going to like it.
Wait, what would be the PETA version of that? Hold your horses.
Hold your horses? Hold your sweet potatoes. Probably hold your horseradish.
You know what? That's terrible.
Yeah, well, we can't all be
What about
comedy writers, okay, Victor?
What about pouch your yam? Because they got potato sacks, right? You got it ready to cook? They say, no, put that back in your pouch, sir. We are not ready to boil that yam.
I'm going to edit this out.
Okay.
Good day, Victor.
Good day.
How you doing?
I'm doing... Wait, is it day or good evening? Good evening. It's 8:39 p.m.
We don't need to reveal when we record this, but we do record it at night.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Well, we have to, especially tonight, considering, we went and saw a movie.
We did see a movie tonight, but we'll get to that. First off, a little housekeeping. Our last episode, we reviewed Man of Steel. We did Love It or Hate It. Mm-hmm. And multiple times, I think it was only me, but maybe both of us kept referring to the Daily Planet as the Daily Bugle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yes, we're aware that they're two different things. We're sorry that we called it the Daily Planet. Spoiler alert, we were drinking.
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on the drinking. Totally not.
Yeah, not a slip of the tongue. Yeah. It's not like they're both newspapers that start with daily. But anyway, so yeah, there's a little housekeeping there. Please don't message us.
Or do. I like talking.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that anymore. Okay. I put a disclaimer out for a reason. So there's some new movies coming out, Victor.
Oh, yeah?
In the next few years. Did you hear that they're making a Plastic Man movie?
Why? Is it because they have Plastic Man the Flash TV show?
Is it Plastic Man? I think he's Elongated Man.
Plastic Man.
I don't know. I haven't watched the Flash show in a few years. I think right before they introduced him, I stopped watching.
Yeah, I think the same for me. I've been keeping up with it here and there, just to hear. It's like what's it called? The
Elseworlds.
Elseworlds I've been watching. Like I watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, I think I'm going to watch that too. Maybe we can talk about it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, well maybe we'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
But Plastic Man, what do you think about that? Do you know who he is? Because I don't really.
Is that the guy with like red and white suit with the glasses?
Yes, and he's really stretchy, right? He can form objects with his body.
I think so.
So he's not just like, I'm going to grab that drink from across the room. It's like,
I think it is Plastic Man that's in the Flash then.
I don't know. I'm uninformed about this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure people are screaming at us right now, but Plastic Man, do you like him?
I don't know anything about him.
Neither do I.
So I'm just going to say, no, I don't like him.
DC's making a movie about him, which is kind of cool. I haven't seen that kind of power set.
I like that they're stretching beyond their usual set of heroes.
Yeah, but like that joke was a stretch.
Just reaching.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do know very little about him, but what I do know about him is he is usually the comic relief in a situation. So the fact that they're making a movie about him means that the tone is going to be completely different from what we've experienced from DC in the past. So that's a win for me.
So they're really leaning into Marvel, which to them is humorous?
I don't know if Marvel has like a...
No, that's what everyone seems to
trademark
think, right?
on humor, but...
No, but it's like... Well, they've done a few other superheroes. Aquaman is supposed to be
more fun and
people described it as
dreary.
Yeah, and like a MCU movie.
Yeah,
of the DC extended universe.
I don't know. We're gonna see that next week, right?
Is it next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're watching it next week.
Yeah, so I guess we'll talk about Aquaman next week. Yeah. But let's see how right those first reactions were. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's dreary. Doesn't look like any of it's in the rain.
Gold.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, and there's like some neon colors in the ocean.
Yeah,
I like it.
Sense.
I like the look of it.
I hope we get to see some really ugly fish, though. Like, that's my only ask
Like
for that movie.
like the deep sea fish that are
Yeah.
just like, no one should look at these ever.
Like goblin shark, like the weird fish that are like kind of clear, translucent.
Yeah, they have the milky eyes, and they're just like.
Yeah, they look like me after like long nights drinking.
I mean, I wouldn't say that to your face, but you know.
I get it. I get that a lot. I see the reactions when I wake up.
But yeah, Plastic Man. It's coming out to a theater near you. Moving on.
Wait, did they say when? Or did you say when?
I did, maybe they did. I didn't write it down, but it's being developed. So that probably means they don't have a script. That means they're probably looking for people to write scripts. They're looking for directors.
That makes sense.
But yeah. Doctor Strange 2 is happening. Faux show.
Oh.
They closed the deal with Scott Derrickson, the director from the first one, to return. And the thought is that Benedict Cumberbatch will return,
That makes
obviously,
sense.
but also Benedict Wong and Rachel McAdams.
How do you think they like their eggs?
Oh, Victor. Probably poached.
Yeah, that makes sense. So wait.
So, yeah, go ahead.
But didn't things happen in Infinity War? And
Yeah,
now-
it's just about a pile of dust.
Yeah,
and Wong is there just sweeping it up.
and you got a pile of dust just web swinging around
Yeah.
New York.
The thing that, well, I guess also Chiwetel Ejiofor is going to be back as Mordo, I should hope.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because as far as I know, he was always a villain in the comics. He didn't have that turn, at least when Doctor Strange was Doctor Strange.
I've read very little about Doctor Strange. I'm very
Me neither. I don't really.
unfamiliar with this character.
Yeah, I've only kind of gleaned stuff every now and then, but
And that fact that he always does this, like when he does his magic, he does the Spider-Man, I'm going to shoot webs at you hands.
yeah, the rock on.
Mm-hmm.
But he has those broken fingers. I love the broken fingers. They look cool.
I wish they were still broken, so they're just kind of flopping around whenever he does his magic.
They're just limp. Yeah, and so the thing that I noticed that kind of made me perk up was Rachel McAdams coming back. Because I kind of
Perk up
thought,
where?
oh boy, Victor, oh boy,
Sorry. Go on, continue.
I kind of thought she served her purpose in the first movie. I don't imagine her coming back. Mm-hmm. Like unless it's like she's shoehorned in. Although the report I read, it was kind of like we assume she's coming back, but I don't see story wise why you would include her.
Yeah, because Doctor Strange doesn't really have any like normal, regular human side characters, does he?
Yeah, he has. Well, he has Klee, which is kind of a love interest of him, but I'm pretty sure she's from another dimension.
Nice.
It might be related to Dormammu in some sense.
Sleeping with the enemy's daughter,
I don't know.
cousin, niece.
I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, you know.
I don't.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm excited about Scott Derrickson returning. Mm-hmm. I thought he did an adequate job with the first movie.
Yeah, it was all right. If it wasn't like the 18th Marvel movie that we've seen, or like
Yeah, it would have blew your mind, right?
The 10th origin story.
Yeah.
What else you got?
We got some trailers we could talk about. Do you want to talk about Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters?
It looks all right. I mean, all right. Yeah, we watched a lot of the Godzilla movies back in college.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. I'd say probably like 10 of them.
Yeah, before I kind of got sick of watching.
The same plot over and over again.
Yeah. But I ended up finishing them at some point, but I just got tired of it. Like every week I'd watch another one. Yeah. And I was like, I need to change the palette.
Well, I mean, they're like Westerns, right? Like it's a really slow start. There's a lot of build up. And then all the action happens kind of at the end. Like all the payoff is at the end.
Yeah.
And you can only do that for so long. Like I was doing all the Clint Eastwood movies for a while. And I was pretty happy that they were over at the end.
Well, Clint Eastwood movies are so depressing. Like that guy just like loves to depress his audience. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I can't believe you watched them all. Like I've watched them all before, but I did it at the same time I watched Woody Allen movies. And so I would go back and forth between them. And so it would be like a really dark, depressing movie. And then like a zany comedy. And then really dark. And then back and forth. And then Woody Allen went through his serious phase. And then it was just like, this is all so sad. But
yeah, the Godzilla, I think of all the ones we've watched, I think the only one I remember was the one with Mothra. And the one where Godzilla force feeds King Kong a tree.
That's right. We watched Godzilla vs. King Kong, that one.
It's fantastic. But yeah, I don't know, the trailer looked pretty good. It showed off a lot more of the monsters than I expected. I was expecting just Mothra and maybe something else. But they brought out like a bunch of the big guys. Don't remember any of them. The dragon with the 3 heads.
Is
Mothra.
King Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah, yeah, that sounds right.
And then Rodan is the bird one, or looked like
Right.
the fire bird.
Yeah. I'm terrible with names. I don't remember. I love those monsters, but I'm not good with names.
What was the turtle one? Do you remember? Not Gamora. Is it Gamora? Ghidorah? No, I just said Ghidorah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway.
Snapchat. We'll call him Snapchat.
Snapchat? Because he's really chatty.
I said Snapjack, but
Oh.
like
I heard something else.
Snapchat.
See, sometimes I just hear the beginning of your words and then I fill in the blanks.
Yeah, he's named after a social media app.
Yeah.
He's a chatterbug, that one.
Oh, that's going to kill me.
Do you think Peter's going to have an issue with that movie? Promotes animal fighting.
Oh, PETA. Every time you say PETA, I think you're saying Peter. And I'm like, Peter who? But PETA. Yes. Maybe they will. Maybe they will have a problem with that. But they seem to have a problem with everything, Victor. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a stand and say that and put that out on the internet. Please don't at me. Yeah, I don't know. It looks fine. It looks like all the human casting in it is just like the most generic disaster movie casting. Like it's just like who's hot right now, and then we need a kid character, so we'll get that chick from Stranger Things. She's really popular. We need like the plucky scientist who's going to warn us about everything. Who's that guy from that show about Silicon Valley? What was it called?
Silicon Valley?
Yeah. Get the guy from that. Get Thomas Middleditch. And then we need like...
Wait, are these actual actors are in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
and then we need like someone like cool, like Ice Cube, you know? He's way too expensive. We'll get his kid then. Yeah, let's get his kid. He looks exactly the same. It's fine. And he'll be the cool army guy, you know?
Wait, are you being serious? Or it's like...
Yes, he's in it.
Oh, shit.
All the people I just named are in it.
I watched that trailer twice. I don't remember seeing any of those characters.
At least like rough. The first one like had Bryan Cranston in it and he was doing something new.
Wait, Bryan Cranston was in the first Godzilla?
Yeah, man. Remember, like he dies pretty early on. Spoilers for that movie that's been out for 5 years or whatever. But
wow, I clearly care a lot about the human characters in these movies.
And then the movie became about his boring son. Anyway, Godzilla 2
looks pretty rough. Looks like they crammed a lot in. It could look really cool. It could end as a one part of a 2-part movie.
Oh yeah,
set up like that because that's a lot of monsters to bring up at once.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird that they would do that movie because they're like, aren't they building towards Godzilla versus King Kong? And it's like, well, he just fought 4 other monsters.
Yeah, what's King Kong gonna do?
Yeah, and King Kong is like a baby to him.
Yeah, is he gonna force feed you a tree? Oh wait, it was King Kong that like fed him the tree, wasn't it? I don't remember.
It's probably King Kong because he has the dexterity.
Yeah,
the opposable thumbs.
Yeah,
but he's just like, here, eat a tree.
Not looking forward to it, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I need to see more. Mm-hmm. But do you want to talk about the stuff that leaked about Spider-Man Far From Home? Or because I think we're supposed to get a trailer next week. So do you want to postpone it until next week?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next week.
Sorry, my mind immediately jumped to, we didn't get a trailer for that in the movie we just watched.
No, we didn't.
And fuck Sony for that.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I guess we could just talk about Avengers Endgame.
A terrible name.
You don't like the name?
I don't.
No? Why not, Victor?
Just seems boring. It seems like a name that someone would just pull out. If it was a child coming out, the title of the movie doesn't seem that imaginative.
Yeah, out of all the names that people guessed, I liked Endgame the most.
Yeah.
But at the end, it doesn't really matter to me. It's just a title.
You know when they put that big charade on saying that it wasn't Endgame, and they said that the title of the movie wasn't said in Infinity War?
Yes, I do remember that. They lied to us. Mm-hmm. I feel betrayed.
And then someone went out anyways, just saying like, you know what? I bet it's Endgame. I'm gonna go buy the domain for that. Now he's holding the domains hostage for free movie tickets to the premiere.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. Yeah, he put a tweet out. It's like, I own these 2 URLs, which direct to, I think, Fox, which is a pretty good troll move. He's asking for premiere tickets for Avengers 4 when it comes out. I don't remember there being any follow-up. I remember seeing the tweet and a lot of people being upset at him for doing it.
Of course. They have loyal fans.
He's not asking for like $1 million or anything. Like movie tickets to the premiere. Like that's...
Yeah. But they're like, yeah, you can have the movie tickets. You can have it to the Japan premiere.
It'd be funny if it was like dubbed too.
And it's like, oh, by the way, you have to pay your own way.
I bet that would be part of the deal.
You would think, but blackmail doesn't get you far, especially public blackmail.
Yeah, I've seen the way he's handling it. He's doing pretty good.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset. It's a good way to get yourself to premiere, though.
That's true. Everyone will hate you at the premiere. Like, why? Can you imagine? You're just like, hey, there's Robert Downey Jr. I'm going to go up and say hi. And he's just like, who are you? It's like, I'm the guy who blackmailed his way here. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people are upset at him.
It is kind of a dick move.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is it?
It's one thing to like take it with...
Like without notice, saying like...
Yeah, because like the whole point you're taking it, right, is so that you can get something out of it.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I don't know. It feels dickish to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you don't like the title.
No.
I don't mind it. I don't really care though, either way. To me, it's just the next Avengers movie. It's better than Annihilation, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What about Avengers Assemble? Yeah,
I think we talked about that. Like, I like that one better, but I don't think they can name it that because they named the first one that in Europe.
Yeah, but that's Europe's fault. They put themselves in that corner.
Yeah.
They can call it Endgame.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's just been so much build up to Chris Evans saying Avengers Assemble. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Do you think he'll say it?
I think he will.
Like, it's probably his last movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, they teased it that it might not be, but
they lied to us about other stuff.
I mean, he put that tweet out saying it was a very emotional day and he's leaving the part.
Yeah, right? And that's the thing. We talked about this before, I think. As much as it's like, oh, they lied to us, I'm kind of like, oh, they lied to us. How nice. I'm glad I didn't have the internet spoil that for me.
Yeah.
I would rather them lie to us than tell me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be surprised, right. Yeah. And I'm too good of a sleuth that I'll, like, find details on the internet, so might as well put some fake ones out there.
Yeah.
Or just completely deny true things. But yeah, you want to talk about the actual trailer?
Nah.
So it starts with Tony in the Benatar. I believe that's the ship he's in.
That's a terrible name.
It's like Pat Benatar, like the singer.
Nope.
I can't remember what she's famous for, but she's famous for one song. That's for sure.
Okay, he's in the ship.
And he's running out of air. He's going to die.
Oh, yeah, he's recording that message for Pepper Potts in his helmet.
Yeah.
In hopes that she hasn't been dusted.
Yeah, because, he doesn't know that she's dusted or not.
Yeah. And someone's going to find it.
Yeah, it's just like, how is that going to work? Like, let's say someone finds it. Let's say the worst happens and he does die of asphyxiation. And someone just stumbles upon it and finds the Iron Man helmet and doesn't immediately throw it away.
Yeah, because it's like this,
I'll take this to Earth and find this very specific person in this planet
probably some redhead.
I guess it wouldn't be 7 billion, it would be 3.5, right?
Man, that sounds awesome. I'd live in that reality. Just half the amount of people.
Yeah, because like there's sometimes when you're like walking through a crowd and you're just kind of like, yeah, it would be great if like half of the people were not here right now.
Yeah, I get that thought every time someone bumps their elbow into me. I'm just like, yeah, I could do without you.
Here's a question for you, Victor. Let's say something like that happens. Let's say there's a plague or Thanos snaps out half existence or whatever. Mm-hmm. Would you rather be one of the people who die, or would you rather be like one of the people left over and you have to like deal with the consequences of the world is now in chaos.
You mean the benefits of half the world missing?
I think I know where you lie on this.
Listen, I live really close to the highway, and that is my main mode of transportation from one side of the city to the other. So having half the amount of cars on the road on my way to the mall, especially over like now, over the holidays, yeah, that'd be pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Or like walking through the mall. I was walking like normally the mall I go to. Sure way, it's not normally busy. But Black Friday, holidays, it's awful. I can't walk through that mall without hitting someone bumping into me at least once. And it drives me insane. It's like one of my pet peeves.
People bump into you?
Yeah, because people aren't paying attention. They're like talking to whoever they're with, or they're on their phone.
Maybe I just have a wider frame, but I don't bump into people that often. Like people notice me and they're like, better get out of that guy's way.
I'm wearing my red jacket.
I don't know.
Wow, we went off track on that one, eh?
We're still, well, I still want you to answer the question. So you would rather be the ones
Oh,
who
heck
lived.
yeah.
I think I'd be fine with being one of the people who left. Because I think you underestimate, like, it's half of everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, all of a sudden you turn on your favorite TV show and half the cast is gone. And you're like, man, now I'll never figure out what happened to Jim and Pam. Now Pam's dead.
Actually, it's just Michael and Dwight left.
Or whatever. You know, I know that they already filmed it and it's done. But
Or Michael and Toby.
Michael is just depressed all the time.
Well, luckily for me, all my favorite TV shows have been filmed.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
I honestly, I started referencing The Office because I cannot think of a modern show that's on right now. I don't really watch TV, Victor. That's my secret.
that you've been avoiding TV in case half the population.
I'm always
is
never watching. Yeah. Everything would be gone. You'd go to Five Guys, and it would be 2.5 guys making your burger.
I'd be more worried about the half guy. What's the half guy?
Oh, man. It'd be chaos.
Oh, what'd you think of Five Guys? The burger there.
Oh, yeah. We went to Five Guys for supper tonight.
Tonight was Josh's first time with Five Guys.
It was fine. It hit the spot because I was hungry, but it was like cheese was pretty processed.
Yeah, it was a piece of processed cheese.
Yeah. Well, I had 2 slices of processed cheese, so it was extra processed. It was good. I'd probably go back. It tastes a little bit more homemade than other fast food places, but still, like I felt like I ate fast food after.
Oh,
My fingers felt greasy.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean that's my fault for sticking my hands into the French fryer, but I mean, refuse napkins after that. But you know,
That's what your sweatshirt's for.
yeah. If God didn't want us to wipe our hands on our pants, He wouldn't have given us pants.
I don't know if.
He didn't give us pants.
Yeah.
That's a man invention.
But he did give us a leaf.
That's right. And animals, PETA.
If God didn't want us making fun of animals, he wouldn't have given us animals.
He wouldn't give them. Avengers Endgame is a movie that's coming out next year. It's coming out in April. They changed the date again.
You know, for a really like highly anticipated trailer, that trailer didn't give us very much.
I loved that.
I know, right?
Like everything that happened in it probably happens in the first 20 minutes, or none of it happens, and they just filmed it specifically for the trailer.
It'd be funny if they just filmed a bunch of shit for the trailer.
Yeah, why not?
Well, like I know I'll talk about that later. It's like there's a bunch of scenes in Spider-Verse that were in the trailers that weren't in the movie.
Yeah. By the way, we watched Spider-Verse tonight. I mean, you probably know that because you clicked on the title, but yeah.
If you're just blindingly clicking on stuff,
Good
sorry.
on you. You found the bullet in the Russian roulette of podcasting. What were we talking about?
Trailer for Endgame.
Endgame. Yeah, I liked it. I liked seeing everyone again. It was a nice reminder that everyone's real sad.
Yeah. Everyone's moping around, upset. Cap lost his beard in the dusting.
Oh yeah.
It's just called that, the dusting.
Yeah, wasn't it? It's got a weird name, right? That's like apparently canon. Do you remember what it is?
Nope. They call it the decimation.
Yeah.
Similar to like how they call the New York battle, the Battle of New York, Battle of New York.
Or the incident. I think they called it in the Netflix shows.
Right. Stupid thing.
I'm going to call it the snap. I don't care what you say. That's or the snapping.
I hope there's an event later on in the future where the Earth cracks, and then we have the snap. We have the crack,
and then finally we have the bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you're going with that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like that popular cereal, Rice Cakeys.
I'm so upset right now. Nice setup.
Yeah, it was nice seeing everybody. We got to see Hawkeye. There was Hawkeye in this.
Oh, he looks so upset
Yeah,
and intense.
I bet you his family died. No, just his parents. His in-laws died.
Oh no, it's just his family, but his in-laws are left and they're moved in.
He's like, no. I'm gonna go to Japan and kill some people with a sword. You think they'll call him Ronin in the movie?
They probably would say like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You just some kind of Roman."
Yeah. I don't think they will.
No,
because like Ronin is already a character, and he's going to be in Captain Marvel, which is being released a month before this movie.
it's only a month.
Yeah, it comes out in March.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so it's possible you could do the 1-2 punch of watching Captain Marvel, and then the second movie is Avengers Endgame. Technically, you could do the double punch of Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel, which is the Shazam movie. Because he was called Captain Marvel for a long time.
I wasn't sure where you're going with that, but yes.
Yes,
I forgot that he was called that for a while.
Yeah, and then Marvel was like, you can't put Marvel on the front of a comic book without our permission, so you need to change that character's name. It's like, but he's been around for 20 years. Yeah, you're going to have to change his name.
Well, for him to get his powers, he shouts out Shazam.
It makes sense.
Do you think he shouted out Shazam when he was Captain Marvel?
I think he did.
Oh.
Didn't he? I don't know. I've honestly never read a single Captain Marvel / Shazam comic book.
Huh.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it will happen, like, that'll be the first 20 minutes of the movie. Mm-hmm. And, like, even the scene, the scene towards the end of the trailer where Black Widow is like, this is going to work. And he's like, well, it better, because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't. I think he's talking about going to save Tony. I don't think it's their plan to fix whatever happened. Because I think that's what he's talking about, saving Tony. Because it's like, we need Tony, and I don't know what we're gonna do if we don't find him. Mm-hmm. I think that's what he's talking about.
It'd be safe to say that he's probably dead. They don't even know if he's alive. You're just going.
No, maybe by that point, they've gotten the message that was meant for Pepper or something. I don't know how he transmits it. I don't know.
With his butt nanites.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, did you hear all the theories about the video of Scott Lang at the end? How it's like it's an archive video from like 1983.
Wait, really?
No, you didn't hear this? Okay, so basically, you know how there's the shot where it's like it shows the view screen of him, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm out in the front gate. We found
the airport a year ago."
Yeah. Up in the top, it says archive, and then there's like a serial number, and it says 1983. So a lot of people were like, what? Is it time travel? Is this like an old footage thing? And they just found it. And, but apparently it's not that. Apparently people have misinterpreted it. And it's like not even 1983. It's like S/83
Because he does, like, Steve does ask, like, is this real? Like,
is this an old file or something like that? Yeah. But you never know. Like, it could be, they're just trying to trick us or whatever. That's what I like about this, is that there's all these theories and none of them could be true, because it could just be like, Ant-Man's not even in this movie. Joke's on you. Like,
he's still stuck in that.
Yeah, they never save him. He just dies in the quantum realm.
Quantum realm, that's what it's called.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a theory that was being passed around for a little while.
Honestly, I'm trying to stay away from as much of that theory talk as much as I can, just because I don't know. I like going and not knowing a lot.
Okay, well, considering that, what do you think is going to happen in the movie, Victor?
Thanos is going to come back. He's going to have some crazy ass fight. Yeah, wait, he still has the gauntlet on.
Yeah, it looks all messed up. His arm looks messed up too.
Yeah, but I remember seeing some concept art of it, and he has like his sword. Or some kind of sword.
I wonder if it doesn't work anymore. Like, or
because he's still wearing the gauntlet with the Infinity Stones in
I bet you he can't take it off. I bet you it's like where like the gauntlet has been fused to his arm because it like so much energy.
Especially in like a after snap gesture.
It's just like
he's basically finger gunning. Thanos for an entire movie is finger gunning with one hand. I'll get you.
Stop pointing at me.
Is he finger gunning us? What is this?
I think it's fused to him. But so I wonder if, because it does work, right? Because immediately after snapping, he makes a portal and gets out of there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
actually, I saw this the last time I watched it. He actually heals his chest wound as the axe comes out. Mm-hmm. Like you could see, I forget which stone it is, but it
time
maybe, but his chest wound closes as he goes through the portal. So he can heal and he can. Maybe he can't use them all at once anymore. Maybe it's only one at a time.
That's still pretty OP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still, like all the MacGuffins in the palm of his hand. Or the back of his hand. MacGuffins. It's a film term for like the object that everyone seeks in a movie. Like the Maltese Falcon is a MacGuffin. Oh. Or the Tesseract. Anyway.
Okay, well, I learned something new tonight.
Yeah, it's a little inside baseball for you. I think, see, here's the thing. Everyone thinks it's going to be time travel, that they're going to go all to these different times and they're going to recruit Avengers from different eras or something like that.
Oh, they missed out on calling it Avengers Forever. With the number 4?
I guess so. Would you be happy with that? Or would you
I'd be so upset.
That'd be so lame. Because there's a comic book called Avengers Forever where they do that. The exact thing where they go around.
Was it Avengers or was it Spider-Man?
I think it was Avengers. Because they go around and they find different different Avengers from different times.
Yeah, because I remember there was something that wasn't an original title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think that. Name. See, here's the thing. Everyone thinks it's time travel. I kind of wonder if they're going to do different realities.
I feel like, quantum verse, because I'm assuming it would revolve around the quantum verse.
Mm-hmm. And they did mention time. See, that's the thing, though. It's just like I think I heard an interview where the Russo brothers was like, it's not time travel, but now we know that they lie to us openly. So it's like the time travel makes the most sense. And I think I have a bias because I don't like it when movies introduce time travel as just like the solution to something, because then it breaks your universe. Like, unless you do it right, it could easily break your universe. Because like the next time you're in a movie and it's like, oh no, Ultron came back, and it's like, well, just use your time travel device and go back and get rid of him before he becomes a threat or whatever. Or, oh, no, Gwen Stacy died. Well, just use the time travel device and don't snap her neck this time.
This time. Maybe you want to just snap it a few more times just to make sure that, you are doing it wrong so you can do it right.
Yeah. So that's the thing. But I think that it might just be my bias coming in. It might absolutely be time travel that they use.
Yeah, I mean, because it shows, there's a few behind-the-scenes shots of, them in the Battle of New York.
Mm-hmm. And Ant-Man is there.
Yeah, along with, a blonde Tony Stark wearing...
Yeah, or graying or something, yeah.
Yeah, and he's wearing, S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff.
Yeah, like a S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform.
So you could almost assume that, maybe in that dimension, he was head of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah. And then there's the other one that there was a set photo, but it looked a little bit too staged for me. But the device in, is it Civil War? Yeah, Civil War, the barf device that Tony uses.
Right, yes.
He uses the glasses and so it shows him, it projects his memories, and then he can change the memory to suit what he wants to show.
Right.
So there was a set photo of that barf machine, like the glasses, and labeled that it was the barf glasses.
Terrible acronym.
And so the thought is maybe either they're combining it with one of the Infinity Stones, so it's like you're using your memory to adjust while you're using an Infinity Stone. So maybe you're going back in time and changing a thing, but using it based on people's memories. I don't know.
Interesting.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
Should we move on though?
Let's move on.
You got anything else to say?
Are
you going to see it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably wait till it comes out on VHS.
Yeah. Just avoid spoilers for the entire. I don't know. I'll probably see it. I will absolutely see it first. I'll be there.
We'll be there Thursday night.
Thursday nights. Yeah.
And we'll be in the exact same position we are now, because clearly Marvel movies is our thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel movies.
Yes, we saw a movie tonight.
Fantastic
Victor.
one came out tonight.
That's right.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it was a Sony Marvel movie too,
and it was well done. Like a very
so good, Victor. It was fantastic.
Like Sony should just stick to animated Spider-Man movies.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And just leave Tom Holland. Let MCU have them.
Yeah. But so this movie was about Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He was our main character, main Spider-Man.
He gets his powers in this movie.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Miles? Do you know much about him?
They introduced him like right as I stopped reading comics.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about him. Like I know his powers. I know he has like the invisibility and the little shock touch.
I didn't know he had the shock touch. That was new for me.
I don't think he used it very much in the comics.
I knew he was invisible.
I read.
I've read a few things with him in it. Mostly just events where like the team that he is on is a part of the event. I think it would. Well, I think I read Civil War 2, and then what was the one? What was it called? The one where Cap turns out he was Hydra the entire time.
Oh, I don't remember what it's called, but yes, I know the one.
Yeah. So I think I read those, and he was in both of those. He had a significant part in both of those.
I really like his character. Like just from what I know of him, I remember. I like the fresh take on him. Mm-hmm. I like that in his universe that Peter Parker has died.
Mm-hmm. Spoilers. Yeah, by the way, we're just going to talk about this movie like you saw it with us. So
yeah, there's going to be spoilers all over the place.
Yeah, but we assume you saw it. So yeah, enjoy us talking about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Peter Parker dies in it. Let's do the plot first real quick.
Yeah.
Miles is a fairly normal kid. He lives in Brooklyn, and one day he gets bit by a radioactive spider, and it leads him to meeting the actual Spider-Man, and it's the middle of a battle between him and Kingpin has turned on a Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
And so that opens a dimensional rift, and all these Spider-Men come out from different dimensions, and they find out because the collider is so powerful and it's ripped all the space-time continuum, they need to turn it off, or the entire multiverse will be destroyed. Mm-hmm. So, and yeah, that's basically the plot in a nutshell. Yeah, so we both loved this movie.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually struggling to find things I didn't like about this movie. It's pretty darn fantastic. What do you want to talk about first, Victor?
Let's start with the beginning. I loved that so in that first fight, the Spider-Man in that universe dies. Like he gets killed by the Kingpin. I like that they showed that.
Oh, he's played by Chris Pine, by the way, that first Spider-Man.
Oh, he was not voiced by the same guy?
No.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
There's the negative. No, the first Spider-Man was played by Chris Pine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really liked that Spider-Man, like the way he was portrayed. He was blonde, which was kind of weird, but I guess that's the effect of having multiple Spider-Man come from different dimensions and exploring that. But yeah, I like that they killed him. And it wasn't just like him being sucked away, and then now it's Miles Morales left to fend for that universe.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of twists and turns in this movie, but I think if you're familiar, at least with a little bit of Miles's lore, like none of them are really surprises. Like Peter Parker dies, and like Miles started in the Ultimate Universe in the comics, and Peter Parker dies in that one as well, and he leaves the mantle to Miles. And so like that's some of that stuff is not surprising, and Miles has an uncle who turns out to be a villain, and I mean that was always the case in the comics as well. So
I'm glad they kept him in. I've always liked the Prowler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything was great. Like the opening, they do this running gag where every time they introduce a Spider-Man, they stop the movie and they monologue about how they came to be, and like they go through like the origin really quickly, and like it's like the rule of three. Every time they do it, like it's done in a slightly different way and enough to shock and surprise you and make you laugh. And yeah, there's a lot of Spider-Man in this movie. A handful. A handful. More than you're expecting, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's like there was Miles, Peter Parker,
played by Jake Johnson, who from New Girl and Jurassic World and stuff like that.
Yep, wouldn't have known that. And then we have Spider-Ham, voiced by John Mulaney.
John Mulaney, yeah. That was perfect casting.
Yeah, I was really happy with that.
And then Noir Spider-Man, played by Nicolas Cage.
Which is fantastic.
And then there was a Japanese anime Spider-Man named Penny Parker.
Yeah.
And
Parker's not a Japanese last name.
No.
But whatever.
And then, who are we missing? Oh, Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
And she was played by Haley Steinfeld, who's the girl in Bumblebee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what there was one? No, is that all the Spider-Man? There's 5.
Yeah, and then the Chris Pine one, and then yeah. So like,
and the villains in this one was pretty cool too, because it's not your typical 616 universe Spider villains.
Yeah, I liked and didn't like them. I liked that they were doing something different, but I didn't really like the designs of them. Like especially Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion was one that threw me off.
He looked like a Ninja Turtle villain, right? Like a mutant.
Kind of, yeah. Because he has like, I'd say he's a cyborg,
but he has a real tail. He had a real scorpion tail.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, or me.
Because I know he had like robotic legs that split into, was it 4?
Yeah, like the crab, like scorpion. Crab legs.
He has like one crab or a scorpion hand pincer. Mm-hmm. You know, this is the regular hand.
I didn't love the Prowler's outfit.
Oh, I loved it.
I didn't like his cape. I don't think, but
his what's that thing that goes up behind your head? Like when you think of Count Dracula, he's got those weird 2 things that come out from his cape.
Collar, I guess, an extended collar.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I love that. Like it gave him a really cool silhouette.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was his music or if it was just like the sound effects that they gave him when he moved. Mm-hmm. It sounded like a monster like growl.
Yeah. And we were sitting in we went to a theater with Ultra AVX sound. And so basically everyone I think has a subwoofer under their seat. And so like you really feel the sound. Kingpin looked cool. I really liked how big they made him. He was like the size of a house.
I actually didn't like that too much.
No?
Because like everyone else, I find that effect works when everyone else is varied in size, but everyone else is a normal human.
Yeah, for the most part.
Like Tombstone was in this. He looks like a regular henchman, about average size, tall for sure. Let's see, I'm trying to think of another one that's like a big dude. That would be a big dude. Like the Scorpion. He's a big guy, but he was like you would expect, like a muscle builder with like robotic legs. Yeah. But like Kingpin, he looked like a wall with a head on it.
Well, yeah, and purposely they didn't give him much texture on his suit, so it's just like a black mass.
I do love that. Yeah.
Before that's a good segue into the art style. But before we do that, what did you think of Doc Ock?
Oh, really liked her. So I liked her, but I didn't like that her legs were almost like balloons.
Oh, the exact opposite from me. I really liked like the balloon legs.
It was almost like she had like 4 condoms coming out of her with like claws on the end.
Yeah, they kind of looked like I don't know what you call them, like the tubes. You know how like when people are doing construction on buildings and they just have like a tube that's like the garbage chute from the top of the scaffolding all the way down the building.
Yeah,
it looked like that.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you actually remind me of who's that guy from Big Hero 6? Baymax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of him. Because that's what it looked like. Because at one point, Miles grabs the arm and like squeezes it to like a balloon, which I thought would be kind of weird. Because like that doesn't. She cuts trees in half with those legs.
And that was like the one thing is like I really liked the design of them, and I was like, oh, that's something new. Like usually, like I really like Doc Ock, so I tend to seek his character out more. So I've seen variations of his legs from just tubes to like these giant metal contraptions to like very realistic legs. So it's like it is nice to see something I haven't seen before. I
will say I appreciate when they do things like this with the different dimensions that they do step out of the norm for certain characters. And it's explore, even if it doesn't make any sense, because like you don't have to live with these characters.
No,
it doesn't have to make sense in the future. Because
although all of the villains were from the dimension we're in, and I think if they do a sequel, not to get ahead of ourselves, but it would be about Miles.
Oh, it's right? Sony. There's no way they won't.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this movie makes money. Like this movie deserves to make money more than Venom did. Ugh. But let's talk about the art style. What did you think?
Oh, definitely my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, it's just great. Like the thing with animation movies The things I really like about them is when people take advantage of the medium. Like a lot of times you get an animated movie and you're like, why isn't this just live action? Like you could have told this with a live action. And they absolutely take advantage of it in this. Like it feels like you're watching a comic book come to life.
Well, they do the thought bubbles here and there. They do the
Thought bubbles, speech bubbles, and yeah.
And I like that they do the gamma shift in like the colors. So you see like the red blue separation here and there. Like I like that I don't like it when people overdo it. Like especially when it comes to like concept art, people kind of use that effect to kind of highlight certain things or like kind of distort things so that you don't pay attention to that. You pay attention to like something else in the drawing. But
yeah,
I like that they use in this. I like that it wasn't overdone.
Yeah, and there's like little things too that I noticed. Like there's one part where Miles is like swinging it through traffic, and he's like right in front of headlights, and as he goes past the headlights, he goes black and white, like how you would do it in a comic, like to really emphasize the light of the headlights.
Yeah,
like stuff like that. The other Spider-Men who come from other dimensions, like the ticking clock aspect of the movie is that they keep glitching out, and if they don't get back to their universes soon, they're going to die.
Yeah.
From glitching out. And so every time they glitch out, there's like these great little moments of like different art styles and stuff that kind of pop through them and stuff like that.
Well, they see that throughout New York too. That when they have that collider running, like the rest of New York kind of glitches, like certain buildings pop in and out of that like weird gamma shift.
Yeah, and the other thing is like just the textures on everything. Like they did, I don't know what it's called. Is it, like the old printing that they used to do on comic books where it would just be a bunch of dots?
Yeah, that does all the shading.
Yeah, that was pretty much on everything.
I remember, the opening titles, the opening credits, where they do all that crazy shifting in colors with like the Marvel logo and the Sony logo. Like, I think right at that point I was like, yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy this movie. I'm gonna like this.
And that's the other thing too, is that again they take advantage of the fact that they're in animation, so that when they have characters like Penny Parker, who is an anime character, they animate her like she's an anime character, and they do all these like crazy effects. I'm not sure if she was all the time, but like I felt like she was animated on threes, like how they used to do with some of the older animes to save time and money. There'd be less drawings in a second, and then like Spider-Ham was animated like a Looney Tune character, and like lots of squash and stretch with him, and he would pull cartoon objects out of his back pocket and stuff like that.
And like his hammer,
his frying pan. Yeah, like just a great. Oh, and Spider-Man Noir was always in black and white, and he always looked epic, right? He always looked like the wind was blowing.
Well, like his backstory or his origin story or whatever was like all done in black and white, and it was always rainy. And they even called him out on it. Like when they first introduced him, it's like, we're in a basement. Like, how was your coat blowing?
Yeah. Yeah. It just phenomenal art style. And like, not to mention all the amazing 3D effects that they use later on in the movie when the collider has going haywire and there's like all these dimensions coming in and out of shift, out of phase. And like, so like you got like trains and cars and stuff like that, which is something you would, if you were doing a live action, you would use animators to do that anyway. So it's.
But like, if you think about the movie, you think about the movie that's live action that comes closest to that kind of style in terms of like craziness is Doctor Strange.
Yeah, or Inception or something like that.
But like even those, like they look good, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good or as crazy as like what we saw in that movie with the animation.
And that's the thing too, is because they don't have to be photorealistic. They can kind of get away with more zaniness, right? Mm-hmm. And your suspension of disbelief is kind of a little bit further away because I don't know how to measure that. Whatever, you're more likely to believe it.
Yeah.
Because it's a cartoon, right?
Also, I like the Peter Parker that we got, the one that got sucked in from another dimension.
The Jake Johnson one.
Yeah,
he was really good. Like the trailers didn't really sell me on him.
No,
but he was great. Like, so basically he was an over the hill Spider-Man. Like they mentioned multiple times that he is fat and but he's also older. He's got a little bit gray in his hair. He's kind of a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, he's been Spider-Man for 22 years. I think.
And the one that died at the beginning was 26 years old or something.
Yeah, so he's been Spider-Man for 10 years. Mm-hmm. Gwen's been Spider-Woman for 2 years, and don't think the other ones said how long they've been Spider-Man for.
Yeah, but he comes and he's kind of like the begrudging mentor to Miles, because Miles has just got his powers and he has no idea how to use them.
Yeah.
And Miles kind of keeps tagging along while this Peter Parker is trying to solve the problem. And so he kind of becomes his mentor. And they have a nice friendship and chemistry. And like, it just works really well.
Yeah. The voice is really well done.
Yeah, everybody. Like I was going through in my head of who was in this movie. Like everybody was spot on. Everyone was pretty much.
Yeah, there wasn't one character that made me think, that doesn't really sound like what I would expect from that character.
I didn't like that Scorpion was Spanish. I think he was Spanish. I didn't read the subtitle, which said what language he was translated from. But
I didn't read that either. I think I went to look at it, but there was so much stuff happening that I missed it.
Yeah, exactly. I read what he said, and then it said like asterisk translated from, and then I got to the from, and then they took it off the screen. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, everyone was great.
Who voiced Aunt May?
An actress called Lily Tomlin. I don't know if you'd recognize her, but she's a very funny actress. She was more famous in the 70s, I think. I'm blanking on a movie that you would know her from.
I'm looking at her IMDb. I don't see anything. Oh, she was Professor Frizzle from The Magic School Bus Rides Again.
That's right. She was Miss Frizzle in The Magic School Bus. That's where you would know her from, Victor.
See, I know movies.
Yeah, I just found that out this year. I had a few friends who worked on the new Magic School Bus. And then so when the trailer came out, it was all over my Facebook. And so I watched it and I was like, that Miss Frizzle sounds like Lily Tomlin. And then so I looked it up and it was like, oh, she's not only the new Miss Frizzle, she was always Miss Frizzle. I had no idea. Yeah. Oh, she's in that Netflix show, something in Frankie. Beth and Frankie.
Grace and Frankie?
Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
That was Lily Tomlin. Yeah, so Aunt May was in it. She was good.
Yeah. She knew who Spider-Man was, or she knew who her nephew was.
Actually, what did you think of when the first Spider-Man died and they were like showing how it affected New York? Mm-hmm. Kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you're in a theater, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It was just like, yeah, like it'll bum everybody out if he died.
Actually, I got a little bit like teary when Aunt May was talking to like the different Peter Parker, the new one. I was like, ah.
Yeah, there's lots of, like, again, like this movie was very, very funny and like the action was very good, but like there's a lot of heart in this movie too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of heartfelt moments. And
Okay, if you had to nitpick this movie, anything you didn't like?
Well, I mean, we talked about the designs of some of the villains.
Yeah. So Scorpion.
It's just Scorpion. Yeah. Well, I didn't really like Tombstone either.
I don't think he had any lines, did he?
No, and he didn't do anything either. Like I think he was in one fight, but he was just, it didn't showcase his powers or anything like that.
Yeah. He was shown walking around this gala, and then he was pointing guns at Doc Ock when she failed to bring back Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And then next thing I saw him, he was entering a police vehicle.
Yeah. I kind of want to say there wasn't enough of the Spider Gang, but I'm also kind of happy with exactly what we got.
Yeah, that was a 2-hour movie. You know, like someone would have had to suffer pretty
because
good screen time.
The way they're advertising it, it's like, hey, check out this team of Spider-Man, but really it's mostly Miles and Peter, and then a
little bit of Gwen,
a little bit more Gwen than the rest of them. But like, because I was like, oh, John Mulaney's in this, I'm really excited, and he didn't have a lot of lines in it. Like he had his. But moments.
What he did have was really good.
Yeah, he
did.
Same with Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing too. It's not that they were shortchanged. They each had their moment, and like even Penny Parker had a moment where you're kind of like, oh,
yeah, her robot was destroyed, and
yeah,
and I don't remember the backstory of it. Like her dad built that.
It was, she got bit by a radioactive spider that was psychotic. I can't say the word. It was connected telepathically to the robot that her dad built.
Okay,
that's what she said.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, to nitpick it, there's not a lot. Like,
well, that's good though. That's a good sign.
Yeah, like this movie is great. Like even if you haven't seen it and you're to this point in the podcast and we've spoiled it all for you, I don't think that's going to affect your enjoyment of the movie.
No,
like, this movie is fantastic.
Like for me, I'd say 40% of the movie enjoyment was from the visuals itself.
Visuals, there's lots of great like little lines like that. Like the comedy is done really well. It's done by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did like the Lego movie and the Jump Street movies.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's lots of great editing gags in it, but there's also like great lines where someone says like something iconic and then someone just kind of says a joke under their breath. Yeah, it's just, you know what it kind of reminded me of? What? Because this movie's way better than the Lego Batman movie, but the Lego, like, it's kind of the same, like how much they just love the lore of Spider-Man in it, because like there's lots of in jokes if you're like a fan of just Spider-Man in general, whether it's like the movies or the TV shows or whatever. Like when Chris Pine is introducing himself, they make fun of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, where he's dancing down the street.
And like the Spider-Man popsicle that you can buy in variety stores and stuff like that. Yeah. And yeah, so it's just like, it's kind of just a love letter to Spider-Man in general.
Oh, actually, speaking of like reaching out for that kind of stuff, the end credits scene, they show Spider-Man 2099 getting a device that allows him to travel dimensions.
Yeah.
And the first one he goes into is the universe with Spider-Man from the 1960s cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's that one scene where I guess he's encountering another Spider-Man and they point at each other. And it's the whole scene's focused around. They're just pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Recreating that. I guess it's a meme at this point.
Yeah, I think that's why everyone knows it, right? Like, it's a meme. But...
And they show him behind like the desk with the picture of himself. Also the 60s Spider-Man, like in the credits. It's kind of funny. I like that. I like that little touch.
Yeah, again, it's just, yeah. And that's the other thing I loved about that post-credit scene is that most movies it would just be enough that they introduce Spider-Man 2099 and he just goes, yeah, I know exactly where I'm going to go. And they would just end the scene there.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to go to Spider-Man Universe 67 or whatever they called it and have that whole funny interchange. But I loved that they did. Like, it made it better. You have any other thoughts? Any like loose thoughts something you just loved that you want to share?
Actually, I wasn't sure how Miles was gonna get his costume, but I love that he just grabbed one of the deceased Peter Parker's suits from his spider cave, and just spray painted it. Yeah,
I kind of like that too because it fit very well with the character because he was always tagging stuff. And yeah, because I thought the same thing. And I was just like, well, he'll probably just grab it from, like, he'll just grab a suit from it and it'll be the one he wears.
But also doesn't really make sense because Peter Parker was like 26 and Miles is 15. I don't know how that works. It's not that stretchy.
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah. Yeah. I like the bagel gag.
Oh yeah, where they're sneaking through the Doc Ock's facility.
Yeah, and they steal a bagel because he said he was going to at the beginning when he's laying out his plan.
Oh, did you notice when Miles threw that bagel at one of the scientists when it bounced off the head? It said bagel.
Oh, I thought it said boink.
Oh,
it's bagel is funnier.
I could be wrong. I thought it said bagel.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Like, again, it's like comic books. People get hit with stuff. There's sound effects, like the words, the onomatopoeia is written out on the screen, and like when they have the spider sense, they're like
you see
actually little waves around their head and stuff like that. Yeah.
I really hope Sony does another like Spider-Verse movie, or not another Spider-Verse, just another Spider-Man animated movie.
That's the thing too.
Just stay away from live action, please. Leave the Spider-Man characters alone.
Like I really liked Miles, but now I'm kind of bummed that we probably won't see more of Jake Johnson's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that was the thing too, right at the end of the movie, because in his little Spider-Man introduction where he monologues and talks about his origin story, he mentions that he was married to Mary Jane and then they got a divorce, and then it's all his fault because he doesn't want kids.
Yeah,
and so at the end of the movie, they show him knocking on her door with flowers.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh. Like, I'm so happy he got a happy ending. Like, yeah,
we're gonna get a little May Parker movie, maybe.
Anyway,
I also know nothing about that character.
I only read her in Spider-Verse. Anyway, all in all, you loved it?
Loved it.
I loved it too. I kind of want to watch it again.
See, I loved it, just like all the other movies from the Marvel universe, but likely won't watch it again.
Really?
Yeah, like Infinity War, watched it once, never again.
Oh, you'll watch it again.
Oh, I probably will.
I will make you watch it again.
That's aggressive. Okay.
I would say, like, this is probably the best animated movie I've seen this year. Maybe the best superhero movie this year.
That might be Yeah.
And it's up for debate whether it's the best Spider-Man movie, period.
I think it might be the best Spider-Man movie, period. I'm trying to think of like another Spider-Man movie that I loved.
I think, okay, if you were to like look at it from a technical standpoint of like, did they achieve what they set out to do? I'd say this one is easily the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think everyone has their favorites.
See, I like this one for the reason that it's a really good same reason I like Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
It's just a good representation of that character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked the story of Homecoming. I really liked how Spider-Man 2 was done.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that Spider-Man, but I don't know. I just thought there's something about all these characters kind of representing their characters so well, their comic book versions so well, that
Like they
I would
get
give
it.
it to this.
They understand why people love this character and they lean into it.
They're not trying to like put a spin on. I guess they kind of do, but at the same time, like the core of the character is there.
But they don't though, and that's the thing is they can get away with because again it's animation.
Mm-hmm.
They can. You're more likely to buy that this could very well be the Peter Parker from the comics that you've read for 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a great movie. I think it's maybe the best Spider-Man movie for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely up for debate.
Yeah,
It's in the argument.
It's a pretty big win for me. I'd
Yeah.
say it's.
I told Victor off air after the movie ended, I was like, I'm so happy that I get to talk about a movie I loved on this podcast. Because every episode, it's either I had to fake hate something or pretend to love something I hated. So it's just great to talk about something that's good. Yeah.
Good change. But yeah, you want to wrap it up there then?
Yeah, I don't got anything else.
All right. Well, yeah.
If you want to contact the show, you can email us at averageuninformed@gmail.com or leave a comment wherever you found this podcast.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, guys. And catch you next week where we will likely talk about Aquaman after we've watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.